So here are the topics that will appear on Midterm 2. The first topic we discussed after Midterm 1 was Euler's formula. And in the discussion of Euler's formula, we discussed what multiplication really is. It's a scaling, not repeated addition. Euler's formula is the amazing result that e to the it is cosine t plus I sine t. Then we discussed parametric equations. Parametric equations are the tool you use when you want to track a moving object, a moving particle. Because parametric equations have a beginning, a start, an end, a direction, a speed, and they can trace a curve. We could take derivatives and second derivatives of parametric equations. Then we could find tangent lines, slopes. We could find when there's a horizontal tangent or a vertical tangent line. And we could discuss concavity. Arc length in a parametric equation tells you how far the object has traveled. So we could find arc lengths. As a special case of parametric equations, we have polar equations. Polar equations are given by x equals r cosine theta, y is r sine theta. Polar equations are useful when there's circular symmetry in your object. The arc length formula in the special case of polar can be simplified. And then we could also sweep out areas in polar graphs and find that using an integral. After we discussed parametric equations, we moved into vectors in R2 and R3. So the three-dimensional axis system R3 is looking like this, and a vector is a set of instructions that contain a direction and a length. We usually write vectors with the starting point at 0, 0, 0, but you could start the vector anywhere as long as you have a direction and a length. The two most important operations on vectors that we've discussed is the dot product and the cross product. The dot product is a pretty simple calculation. The reason why people care about it is because it tells you information about the angle between two vectors. And if the angle between two vectors is 90 degrees, we say that those vectors are orthogonal. And so then we have the cross product. There's a lot of properties about the cross product. The cross product of two vectors gives you a third vector that's perpendicular or orthogonal to your first two. The direction is governed by the right-hand rule, and the length of this vector is the length of u, length of v times sine of the angle between them. And then the last topic that will appear on the midterm is lines and planes. A description of a line in R2 or R3 can be given if you have a point on the line and a parallel vector. Planes also can be described by a point and a single vector, but that vector is perpendicular. So if there's a question about a line or a plane, the first thing that you should think is, how do I find a point? How do I find the right vector? Then you write down the equation for a line or a plane. Okay, we'll do some examples in the next video.